Hey, what's up, guys, and welcome back to another Real Madrid review. Tirol nil, Real Madrid 4. Now, I didn't do a preview to this because I just feel like it's sort of not necessary. Like, there really isn't a need and a reason to preview this game, in my opinion, at least. Obviously, the season starts this upcoming weekend. We will be doing those as the season starts again. But it's good to see Real Madrid back in action. I know it's a pre-season friendly. I say pre-season. We're in August. It's my birthday. Um, you know, we're going through the final stages of the transfer window as we head into the start of the season. And generally speaking, it's been a really weird summer. Like, this summer has been so weird because of the Club World Cup that took place between June and July. The players have had less than a month of break, you know, 3 to 4 weeks. Less than that because they've already come back a couple of weeks ago. Started training again, started getting matched up again, and they've basically had 2 to 3 weeks of break, which isn't a lot, but the season has to kick on. The proposal from Real Madrid to postpone the season and delay the season by a little bit has been rejected by La Liga. So ultimately, Real Madrid have to just accept it, and we have to just move on. And with that being said, is that the reason why we are seeing some big signings? Obviously Hoyson, Tren, Mastantuono, Alvaro Carreras, potentially we still need another midfielder for sure. What's going to happen with Rodrigo? That is the departure sort of things. But in terms of the signings coming in, gelling, how they look so far is not a lot to judge and base on, but so far it looks good. It looks good. I think the signings have looked very good. Obviously, Mastantuono hasn't even been presented. He's going to be presented today, as of recording on my birthday, 14th of August. But yeah, for the other few signings, they have looked very, very good. And I think people that are wondering, why are Real Madrid playing this friendly game, right? You're playing away, which is quite weird. You're traveling, which is quite weird, obviously. But you're playing against a team that aren't the strongest. Like, Tirol are in the Austrian Bundesliga. They aren't the top 3, top 5 best teams in Austria, right? Like, we know RB Salzburg, for example, and, they aren't even in the top 3 best in their league. So, why are we playing against them? And I'll tell you one thing. This match makes sense. First of all, if we talk about a, economic sort of or financial, benefit, obviously there will certainly be fans who are living near Austria, Germany maybe, who want to see Real Madrid play and will travel, even if it's a friendly, and it helps to boost the club's sort of popularity, so to say, in that area of Europe in that regard. But most importantly, it is to let these players back into match sharpness. The season starts this weekend. The players have had 2 to 3 weeks off with no proper pre-season, like some of the big teams who didn't go for the Club World Cup have. These players will take some time to get back into match sharpness, not necessarily match fitness or fitness in general, but even just match sharpness to get back into the rhythm of playing is something that this game has given these players. And if you play a strong opposition, as much as that allows you to test your ability and how good you are where you are right now, it also includes a risk of injuries. Why would you want players to play against a Liverpool and the competition's there, the competitiveness is there, and these players may get injuries, they may tire themselves, and you just want. I'm not disrespecting Tirol here, but you want a little bit more of a relaxed, calm game. It's basically like a training session, but you're not playing 5v5s, or you're not playing against your B team or your Castilla team. You're playing against a side that are professional football players. They are. They may not be the best at it, but they are. To test yourself, not your technical ability, but your match sharpness. Get the system going. Xabi Alonso has implemented his style of play, his systems, that he only had a couple of games to do so in the Club World Cup, and at that time, during the Club World Cup, he barely had time with these players. Now that we are slowly getting into this season, to have a game before the season starts against a team that aren't the strongest, that isn't going to be the most competitive game we're going to play, to get the match sharpness, to get the ability, the opportunity to get the system, get the style of play going. What we saw that was great. Obviously it's not a good judge because we aren't playing against teams that we will most likely have to play against the next 50 games, 60 games of the season. But it is just to get these players back, and I'm all for it. Like, I'm okay with it. Like, despite saying that they aren't the strongest opponent, Tirol, I saw a lot from Real Madrid that looked great. It looked great. Again, I'm not hyping up anything. I'm not hyping up, Real Madrid are back. I'm not hyping up any of that. Because the truth of the matter is, Real Madrid still need a midfielder. I'm not convinced with the roster. I'm not really convinced. With one more midfielder coming in at least, like a Vitinha, like an Angelo Stiller, I'll be convinced, maybe. But right now I'm not fully convinced. And yeah, that for sure, weaknesses will still be there. But it looks good so far. Apart from talking about that, not a lot to talk about in the game. I don't think there's really a lot to talk about. But let me just pull out the starting lineup. Let's talk about the goals. The first goal, I think, was Brahim Diaz with a left-footed cross into the box. Adam Militão. Look, if Adam Militão can stay fit, I think he starts with Huijsen. Like, Dino Huijsen, Adam Militão, when they are fit, they complement each other very well. They are a very good duo. Quick, strong, physical, very good defenders. And let's not forget, Militão isn't that old. Like, how old is he? Like 28, 29? I might be exaggerating that. He's 27. Yeah, because he came in 2019, so that was 6 years ago. Crazy, isn't it? When he was 21. So look, he's still 27. He's got at least a couple more years when he's fit, but he needs to stay fit. That's the number one problem with Adam Militão, with other players too at the club. But great header. And then the second goal, brilliant, brilliant stuff again. Great ball from Arda Güler. I mean, what a pass that was. And then Mbappe takes a touch, takes a turn, powers it into the back of the net with his left foot. That is incredible. Second half, I think it was Chouameni with a beautiful true pass, which we know he's capable of. We've seen it before. Mbappe gets to it, runs past the keeper, passes it into an empty net. Great play. The final goal, Rodrigo. Bit of confidence for him as well. Mbappe, really well laid down. That's a couple of fine step overs. Lays it off of Rodrigo. Brilliant finish. 4-0. It wasn't really a contest, really. I think it was like one-sided is an understatement. I don't know really how to put it, but it is an understatement. I mean, Tirol had one shot and 1 on target. Real Madrid had 21 shots and 9 on target, which isn't the greatest in terms of shots to shot on target ratio, but overall the team played well. Obviously this game is to get everyone on, so most of these players played one half and then came off the other half. So everyone pretty much came on and came off. I thought Courtois had nothing to do, neither did Lunin. When he came on, the back four looked great. Alvaro Fernandez, Huijsen, Militão, and Trent. I think that could be the stable back four. When they are fit, that could be the best option. I really like that. There's some stability there right now. It's good. The midfield was Tchouaméni, Ceballos, Arda Güler. Obviously, that was expected because obviously Fede Valverde I think had a little bit of an injury, but I think he's okay. It's not serious. But obviously if he has to take a break, then he deserves it because he's one of the most hardworking, dedicated players at the club. He deserves it. The front three was Brahim, Mbappe, Vini Jr. Mbappe looking very good again. Vini a little bit more quiet, but again, I'm not looking at the GAs because he can score, he can assist, he can create. We know that. But can he do more than that? Can he press for the ball? Can he come back to defend? That is the kind of stuff we expect from the attacking players. The little details that might seem so, I wouldn't say useless, but not as important as the GAs, but they play a big part in how the team plays. And then, Carvajal, Alaba, Rodrigo, Lunin, Gonzalo Garcia, Asensio, Fran Garcia, Rudiger, Yanes, Pitash, who scored in the closed game, I believe, against Leganés, as well as Martin Uriol, Roberto Martin Uriol. Just a bunch of academy players coming in and getting some minutes. But what is before we end, what is some sort of final observations and sort of ideas that we might get in terms of what the starting 11 might be? I think Courtois, obviously, I think the back four, when they are fit, Alvaro Fernandez, Huijsen, Militão, Trent. The midfield, currently, without Bellingham, it will be Tchouaméni, Valverde, and Arda Güler, in my opinion. And then the front three, I think it might be Vini Jr. and Mbappe, and it really depends on what he wants. Does he want to go with Rodrigo and try to make that work again, which seemingly hasn't really worked in the past? Or does he go with Brahim Diaz, something different? I don't know. I don't know what he really wants to do with that. So yeah, we'll see. Season starts again, so very excited for that. But let me know what thoughts are down below. Hope you guys have enjoyed today's video. Hit the button if you did, subscribe to the channel if it's on already, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.